Okay, Emily, Coach Grimes here with your serve analysis video. We're going to take a look and see if we can increase the pace, depth, and accuracy of your serve. The first thing we're going to do is run the video through in regular time so that you can see any problem areas for yourself. Then we're going to break the video down in slow motion, piece by piece. And finally, we're going to compare your serve to a current WTA Pro serve. So the first thing I want to look at is your toss. You get pretty good height on your toss, and that's great. You continue to move your hand up after the toss, that's also good. But here's where you get into a little bit of trouble. Here you pause in the racket drop position. Now the racket drop is definitely a position that you want to get into, but you don't want to pause here. By pausing in this position, you take away all the momentum that you built up and basically have to start again. This at a point when the ball is beginning to drop down into your strike zone. The next thing we're going to look at is the dreaded frying pan position. This is when the racket strings are pointed directly at the ball rather than approaching with the side of the racket, then turning your hand over in pronation to cup the ball and send it into the court. Although it seems logical to point the strings at your target, the problem with it is that you have to have near perfect timing to contact the ball at the exact angle to get the ball in. Slightly too open and the ball sails long, slightly too close and the ball goes into the net. When you pronate, this eliminates the need for that perfect timing. The next thing we're going to look at is your contact point. When you contact the ball, your elbow is bent rather than fully extended. The kinetic chain requires that you release stored energy at the point of its maximum effectiveness. A boxer lands a punch at the very end of his extended arm. Striking his opponent with a bent elbow is far less effective because most of the stored energy is released at the very end. It is the same with a tennis serve. You will find that pro players are fully extended when they make contact with the ball. Finally, we'll talk about your finish. After contact, your right arm simply drops down to your right side. Rather than extending through the ball and ending up on your left side after pronation. Now let's see a side-by-side comparison between you and a pro tennis player. So let's recap your serve again. Not a bad toss, but we get into the frying pan grip. Your elbow is bent, and you end on your right side. Now look at Swiss player Belinda Bencic. You see her toss is going to be well out in front. She loads with her legs, and when she gets to about here, her racket is going to be on its side. This is going to allow her to pronate into the ball, generate more power, and have more control. Now, obviously, Bencic is a pro tennis player, and she's going to be much more dynamic than you. But the principles are the same. Toss well out in front, racket approaches the ball on its side, pronate into and through the ball, and end up on your left side. So keep practicing your serve with these things in mind. You will master it, but it will take time and many baskets of balls.